You're listening to the Sports on Tap High School Hockey Show featuring teams from the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. Here are your hosts, Rob Troutman, Josh Jeffy, Sean Duffy, and Ed Dick.
And welcome out to the Barron Cup. It's the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League going on right now, and we have Barron Cup 2 going on right now. The number 1 seeded Amherst Comets, Amherst Steel Comets, are taking on the Bay Rockets right now, the 4th seed. And 59 seconds left here in the first period. There is no score right now.
Tight game right now between a 1 and a 4 seed. Hi, everybody.
Well, Sean Duffy here, Josh
right.
Jeffy. I'm Rob Troutman. Ed Dick is out in the Caribbean, I believe.
He's
Punta Cana.
He is.
Man.
He's maxing and relaxing. He's enjoying. He better not be breaking my belt. He better not be breaking my belt.
Oh, for those of you who do not know, that's our Sports on Tap Fantasy Football League Championship belt that Sean ceremoniously lost this year.
I didn't ceremoniously do anything. I got beat.
Yeah, you got beat.
There's no ceremony involved in it.
Oh, there was a ceremony. We were all celebrating that you lost.
I blurrily remember it.
There's 18 seconds left here in the first period. Amherst has been on the offensive a lot so far tonight.
Absolutely. And that's been their MO all year, Rob. They've been an attacking type of offense. And one of the things that Amherst does so well is, and what they've done so far here in this first period, as it comes to an end, 0-0 Bay and Amherst locked at 0-0 at the end of one. But one of the things that I noticed is what they kind of been doing all year, Rob, is they get into the opponent's zone and they really set up so that they have an opportunity to set and then reset. They don't allow a lot of – in some of the games, it's a lot of back and forth. And for those of you who are new to hockey, especially like myself, you kind of pick up on trends. And if you can maintain a presence within your opponent's zone for a good portion of the period, you're doing exactly what you need to do, and you're giving yourself an opportunity to score goals. And that's exactly what Amherst has done all year. I mean, they came into this thing 26-2 overall, with some sort of on a roll. And as you mentioned before we got on air, Rob, best season they've had in years.
And we'll give credit to the Bay Rockets goaltender, Sean Gully.
Yep.
On the season, 85% save percentage. He had saved 277 shots on the year, and right now doing a great job. And let's give credit to Bay keeping Amherst off the board here in the first period, because Amherst, their offense, like we said, is impressive, and you got to imagine if they're going to continue to stay down in the Bay zone that they're probably going to put one in eventually here.
Yeah.
They've been very impressive all year round. Like you said, their record has been unbelievable this season.
Yeah.
What a great year for Amherst, who, we had a chance to interview Coach a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And, they were gone for a little bit. They came back. They've been back now for 2 seasons, and they've done an unbelievable job coming back this season.
One of the impressive things is, and as we talked to the Amherst coach, was the way that it's not just one guy. It's pretty spread out among goal scorers and things like that, particularly in league play. There's a lot of sharing the puck. So it's kind of one of those things where if you're an opposing team in the defensive end, you gotta have your head on the swivel. You got to be able to know where the puck is at all times, because anybody on the ice can score. That's the general notion of hockey in general. However, with this particular team in Amherst, it's really, for anywhere from a defenseman to a forward or to a center, they can get in there and put that puck in the net. So you have to play solid defense, and Bay did that in the first period. They were kind of under fire there, but at the end of the day, at the end of that period, they look up and they say, okay, no damage done. And that's something you really have to, if I'm the coach of Bay, I'll go in there and say, okay, guys, opening salvo, first period, we did everything we needed to do. And we got this thing to the second period, no damage. Now let's go out and attack. Let's go out and put them on their heels. Let's spend some time in their zone. And that's something that, I think Bay can do. Because, again, you have to remember, with this Barron Cup setup, guys, it's one and done. You got to win, otherwise you're done. So it doesn't matter if you're number 1 seed or a number 8 seed. You can come in here and win this thing and really set yourself up for the postseason going forward.
Yeah, Coach Morris, Steve Morris is the coach of Amherst, and, talking to him, how he was raised in Canada, he comes played college hockey at Miami. I mean, he knows how to win. Miami's always been a very successful college hockey team. And I think he's bringing a great thing to Amherst. He's getting more players to come out and play. He's got a young squad, and they're really showing what they're made out of so far this year. What an impressive year, 9-1 in league play. And, you look at the statistics, 59 goals for and 16 against. I think that says a lot about how Amherst is more on the offensive. Their goaltender makes saves when they need to. And just a great overall year for that. And they've, what a year Olmsted Falls has had right in the back there, and then Bay and back to Olmsted Falls. But, it was Amherst and Olmsted Falls going back, and their one loss in league play. Olmsted Falls lost to Amherst on the year, and Amherst beat Olmsted Falls. Olmsted Falls also beat Amherst. So what a matchup that would be if they met again.
And they're on this, and they're on, the opposite sides of the bracket here. I mean, just to kind of give you an idea, we're looking at Barron Cup 2. Right now we have the number 1 seed, Amherst, taking on Bay 0-0 in the first intermission. And that's on the left-hand side of the bracket. On the bottom of the left-hand side of the bracket, the number 2 Canfield Cardinals will take on number 3 Benedictine tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. here in the Brooklyn Ice Arena. And then on the right side of the bracket, number 1 seeded Orange will play tonight at 8:30 against number 4 NDCL. And then at the bottom of that bracket, as Rob mentioned, Olmsted Falls gets a number 2 seed, and they will take on Avon tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. So, guys, looking at this Barron Cup 2, obviously you gotta look at the number 1 seeds, Orange and Amherst here, and really know that those are probably the better, obviously the best teams coming in. But what do you guys think of what you see at the bracket so far as to potential upsets or potential teams that maybe got in and can move forward?
Well, you look at Olmsted Falls on the opposing side. If they want to, obviously get to the championship, they're going to have to go through some pretty tough teams, and it starts with Avon. Avon, the number 3 seed. Olmsted Falls and Avon have been a little bit of a rivalry there when it comes to high school hockey. Avon right now, has had an up and down season. We talked to Coach earlier on this season, and he said, we got to figure this out, and they had a lot of time. But so far, it's been an up and down season. They haven't been bad though. They tied with Bay. They were 5-5 in league play. The one thing that you see with them is they had 20 goals for and 33 against, and a plus or minus of minus 13. That will have to change here in the tournament, especially when you're playing a good Olmsted Falls team who is consistently scoring. They scored more than Amherst on the season. They scored 65 goals, did Olmsted Falls. So we know what they can do. But they're in a bracket with Orange, who has been consistently good. They didn't lose in league play this year, Josh.
Yeah, you're right. And when you're coming into a tournament, as we always say, the hottest teams usually end up going very far in the tournament. But you never know. If we look at last year, if you're looking at there was some upset in last year's Barron Cup tournaments, especially with your higher-seeded teams got upset early. And that could happen. But if you're looking at this bracket so far, like Sean mentioned, you're looking at the top 3 teams that have been winning. I mean, Olmsted Falls, Amherst, and Orange. And probably right now, Orange is the favorite going into this bracket because, you know what, they have not lost yet in league play, and that's got to go for something. And
obviously, you're right, Josh, a lot of confidence with Orange. And one of the things that I love about this setup, and I think, Joe, this is a credit to Joe Simon and Ryan Kelber. One, they keep it in the way the leagues are set up. There's great parity in this, specifically in the white division that, Amherst and Orange and Olmsted Falls are your top 3, but the other, 5 teams in this thing could easily come out and beat them because there is parity. You see that. And I think one of the things that I like most about, Barron Cup 2 here and what I think can happen is you could get I think everyone's kind of would be great to see Amherst versus Olmsted Falls because that would be a great rivalry matchup. But I kind of would like to see Orange versus Amherst. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see the 2 best in each division play for that Barron Cup. That's the ideal. That's the chalk. But I would love to see a Bay or an NDCL or even Avon who got into this thing, and even Benedictine get into this thing and make some noise and make some and show everybody, hey, we are not just a 4 seed to get or a 3 seed to get beat. We're here. We can play with these teams, and all it takes is one game. I mean, it's funny to see that it all comes down to that. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to see, how Bay comes out in the second period. They, like I said, they kind of took the first round, I think, in stride, and I would like to see them maybe attack more. But again, you try. Obviously, any coach would say that, but I think one of the things you want to do is get more shots on goal and not spend quite so much time defending your own zone.
Yeah, I think one thing Bay has to do is figure out a way to offensively get into the Amherst zone more and keep the puck there a little bit and keep it in their zone. Get some good offensive sets, because right now Amherst has been on the offensive most of the first period. We have 3 minutes left until the second period starts, but right now Bay has done a nice job. Defensively keeping the puck out of the net so far, even though Amherst is pretty much dominated on their end so far. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to step away. We'll take a short break. Josh is excited.
And
a little
apparently
Monday Night Raw.
Triple H is coming out later.
Hey.
What's going on?
Could be. Yeah, gotta go with the Raw. We're into it now. We're into it.
We are.
Okay. All right.
But when we come back, we'll talk about the Barron Cup 3. There was a game earlier
We
today.
have a final.
Avon Lake. Were they able to not get upset here in the first round? We'll tell you when we come back, and we'll also cover Barron Cup 1 coming up. All from the Barron Cup here at Brooklyn Rec Center. It's a great time here to watch some high school hockey. It'll be here all week, so come on up and watch some high school hockey. I'm Rob Troutman, Josh Jeffy, Sean Duffy. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.